host of Wine Library TV, aka WLTV, and this is BBQ Central.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate sushi or wiener.
But listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It is the Barbecue Central show. We put this up. My pal Jeff Richards writing in, if Matt doesn't pay, he's got to go. I agree. You can't say you're going to make good, especially on a cancer research donation front, and then not make good on that. Can't do that. Matt would be gone forever.
Hit me!
Also, I'm reliving the minutes of that end part of the conversation, and part of me is like, hey, would you really rather walk around smelling like piss, or would you really rather walk around smelling like onions? And both appear to be very vile to me. I don't know if I said I would definitely rather smell like urine because I just detest onions at all turns. And then I think, well, is that right? And then I think to myself, well, sometimes when we have onion in the house, like I'm not eating it, but everybody else in the house seems to like it in some form or fashion. And if you leave it in the trash overnight and you come out, even early in the morning, even if it's only been 4 or 5 hours and it's sitting in the trash, I walk out of the bedroom and it's like, bam, there's that stank ass onion in your face. And I'm thinking, now do I want to smell like that? Or do I want to smell like urine? And then I quickly go back to, yeah, but urine. There's really no win here. If death is an option, I'm pretty sure I'm choosing death. I would not want to smell like urine, and I don't want to smell like onion. I'm screwed. Take me out. Let's call it a life. Happy to be here. I don't want to smell like piss, and I don't want to smell like onions. So there you have it. Still to come on the show tonight, Mike Lang from Another Pint Please. And closing the show, Daniel Vaughn from Texas Monthly, TMBBQ.com. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to Facebook.com/BBQ Central Show, or you can watch the show over on YouTube, which is YouTube.com/@BBQ Central Show. We have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests. Will you be at the Grillfest in Hartville, Ohio this coming weekend? And currently 81% of you are saying no. All right. But almost 20% of you are saying yes, you will be there. That's like 5 or 6 of you. That's great. Anthony Parlaman, by the way, shout out to Anthony for sending me a bunch of, like literally a bunch, 40. Anthony, is it rude to say that these are they're aluminum cups? That's not the rude part. But they're not like ultra heavy duty. I assume like one gets crushed, you just pitch it, and that's why I got 40 in the sleeve. So I would say definitely an elevated solo cup experience, plus has the Barbecue Central logo put on by Anthony. I believe he's got some kind of a marking or I don't know what the business is called. Anthony, what do you call what you do? Printing, laser engraving, something along these lines. But I sent him a file, and he's like, hey, I'm going to send you out these 40 cups. And I was like, holy shit, 40 cups. My cabinets are overflowing with nonsense cups already. I couldn't imagine having an extra 40. He's like, they come in sleeves of 40. We'll run them out, send them to see what you like. 1 or 2 uses. Okay, well, I can wash them, no problem. But I assume at some point, party gets out of hand. Somebody might sit on one. Somebody may get aggressive with the filling. Who knows? And, they could bend out. So I just want to make sure that I'm treating them with the utmost respect. And once again, thank you, Anthony, for sending those my way. They will go into good use. And what I quickly found out, of course, is that you drop ice in those things and then whatever your beverage of choice is, and they stay brilliantly cold all the way through the beverage. So soft or hard, whatever you like. So just another key use there. So appreciate that from Anthony. Hey, coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less, gang, the day's finally arrived. Episode 400! Now, what can you expect as you tune in to episode 400 of the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday? Well, you will tune into an episode that took place on August 18th of 2015. And I was wondering, what is John going to do in order to commemorate or memorialize 400 episodes? So John is doing what John can only do. He is somehow traced back to what he believes, and who would question John as it relates to show history? Not anybody, especially me. But John believes he has traced this date, the August 18th of 2015, to be the actual 400th episode of the Barbecue Central show. Originally, the original 400th episode. So what you will hear is a 10-minute or less snippet of that show. I'm not going to ruin it for you like I usually do. But just know that what you hear is what John believes is the actual 400th episode, which will appear on the actual 400th episode of the Barbecue Central show, the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. And if I might gush over my pal John here just for a moment, at the end of the year, the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less will have finished its 8th year of production. 8th year. I don't think anybody has listened to, except maybe for the guy from Prime Barbecue, and I apologize for not having his name right off the top of my head, even though he was on the show a couple months ago. He listened all the way back when the show was originally starting in podcast form. But outside of that, I don't think anybody has heard more episodes of the Barbecue Central show than John, and it's probably by a lot that John has this amount of episodes listened to over anybody else. Anybody else. Nobody listens to more shows than John. Nobody is picking out better 10 minutes or less content to post week in and week out, closing on 8 years and hitting 400 episodes this coming Friday. I remember reaching out to John all those years ago and saying, there isn't one other person that I would ask to do this. And if you don't want to do it, I'll just continue to do it. I was, 2 or 3 episodes in at the time. Had the stupid little rap song trailer, if you remember that, going in, or introduction, we might call it. I said, I trust you more than anybody. I'm not asking anybody else. So you're either going to do it or I will continue to do it. Either is fine with me. And there's really only these kind of guardrails we want to put around it. I'm not going to micromanage. I'm not going to tell it needs to be like XYZ. I just know you're going to do a good job because you have audio quality at heart. You have entertainment value for listener at heart. And you have a sound system that sounds just as good as mine. And those are the most key benchmarks of success that this best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less is going to have if it's going to be successful. And coming up on 8 years at the end of the year, and as we approach this coming Friday at 400 episodes, it is proven out to be the second longest running barbecue podcast, I believe. If not, it's this show number 1 and best moments number 3. But I don't think there's even more than one space between us, even if there is one space between us, and I think it just might be 1, 2 here. I can't thank John enough. He has been a relentless producer of the show. He has taken your requests and made them into shows. He has continued to find and mine out some of the most magical and prolific and important moments of the show over its however many years we've been doing it. Started in 2008 live, so going on 18 years this coming February. It's absolutely incredible. So, John, I can't thank you enough. I trust the show to nobody else but you, and the minute you want to stop doing it, the show dies. No pressure. I'm just saying. It's not big shoes to fill. There are no shoes to fill. It's John's or nobody's, and that's just the way it's going to be. So make sure you tune in to the 400th episode of the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less, where you will hear what is the actual 400th episode of the Barbecue Central show. Thanks again to John. Mike Lang is in the green room, ready to go. Plenty to talk about with him. But before we do that, let's go ahead and talk about our pal Sterling Ball over at Big Papa Smokers. Whether you're chasing a grand championship or just aiming to impress your backyard neighbors, Big Papa Smokers has the rubs that deliver results, trusted by competition pros and weekend grillers alike. Their award-winning lineup like Sweet Money, Competition Brisket and Steak, Cash Cow, Cattle Prod, Desert Gold. I just had some Desert Gold on grilled salad the other night. I don't mind a little Sweet Money hot. Everything's great. It's so good. You're going to love it. Little Louis seasoned salt will blow your mind how good it is. Anyway, can I continue? Of course. For a limited time, they've brought back the rub Cucaracha for a fiery kick that turns up the heat on any cook. Barbecue Central listeners, this one's for you. Use promo code BBQ Central 25 at checkout. That's BBQ Central 25, all one word. BBQ Central, the numerals 25 at checkout for free ground shipping now through October 31st. So you got about a month and a half left to go on that. That's BBQ Central 25 at checkout for free ground shipping now through October 31st. BigPapaSmokers.com. That's BigPapaSmokers.com. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
Welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by McAllis Cigars, where each blend is a chapter in the grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. For instance, the Color Series, or the Leyenda, or the Migdalia, or any of the cigars, really. McAllifCigars.com is the place to go. MICALLEF, McAllifCigars.com. Then use the locator to find a retailer nearest you, and then don't be disappointed. By the way, I did catch up on all the cigar samples, so if you asked for one, they got sent out. I know it took weeks and perhaps a month or whatever it was, but you know me and shipping, I'm the worst. But they are out there. You should have them, if not today, tomorrow, for all of those that ask for what was it? I think it was the purple line. And then I also threw in an extra one of my favorites. So I think somebody got a black and somebody got a Herencia, if I'm not mistaken. But enjoy. That's what's most important about cigars. Hey, my first guest in the second hour, back for a quarterly appearance here in 2025. If you follow him on social media or you visit his website, you're typically delighted at his recipe creations. Also, photography and video shooting skills. From an influencer's standpoint, continues in association with industry leader Weber Grills. He wrote the book One Beer Grilling. He has a second book out that we're going to be talking about here in a second. And after all of that, an inaugural member of the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame, all the way back in 2018, if you can believe it. It's Mike Lang from Another Pint Please. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Greg, how are you?
Absolutely great. We have a YouTube poll question of the week, and I know the answer in my sleep on this one, but we'll ask you anyway. Mike, you're going to be at the Hartville Hardware Grillfest this coming Saturday.
Yes, I will.
81% of the people will not be that are voting tonight, which means 19% of the people that are watching tonight said they will be at the Hartville Hardware Grillfest as well. We'll talk about that here in a few moments. Look, Mike, known for consistently delighting your audience with recipe creations, impressive photography, the video skills, of course. What have been some of the most exciting barbecue and grilling projects or recipes that you have been working on recently?
Well, first of all, you were too kind, but thank you. It's been crazy. It means a lot. Actually, apparently my wife's a fan of yours too, because she wouldn't stop laughing during the Sam segment. So,
why? Because I was talking about somebody peeing in my face.
Yeah, there's thankfully not a strong stench of urine in here, but we're it's good to go.
Yeah, good.
No, but it's been a crazy year. I've done everything from the Dairy Farmers of America and Board and Cheese, a series of video projects for them. Simply Recipes, who's now owned by People Inc. underneath what was the Meredith umbrella, did a summer barbecue grilling feature with them, which was an absolute blast. Of course, all this work with Weber I've been still doing. And then a big chunk of the first quarter was tied up with what we're going to talk about next, which is a new cookbook.
When somebody's reaching out to you to partner with, 20 years ago, somebody was like, hey, we want to do a partnership. I'm like, okay, well, this is going to involve them paying me. I believe over 20 years and the evolution of social media and influencers and all this other stuff, from what I've come to find out, well, maybe there isn't an expectation that there is going to be payment, or maybe there's going to be some alternative pitch that is going to be a win for Mike, but also a win for whoever this potential partner might be. How do you attack those solicitations?
Well, I do something that's going to be, let's call it pro bono. It best be local and something I really care about. But if not, I consider it work. I don't even really consider it influence work. I'm being contacted by a company to produce deliverables for X, Y, and Z, or to perform a certain function, and that's, you get paid for that. So it has changed. I think people look at it differently, but for this point and where I am in my career, it is a job. It's a full-time job.
Do a lot of people say, hey, we know your work from the stuff you do from Weber? Because I think there is a lot of stuff on your pages involve Mike out in front, but it's not necessarily the same thing with Weber. There's Mike's hand or Mike's kneecap, or you've done all the shooting and the production, but not necessarily a lot of front time. Do a lot of people know about that other side that isn't Mike in front of the camera?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's a good question. It's something I've kind of, I love what I've been able to do. I sort of work for the company, and I'm sort of like, an inside person more or less, but not a known person. But I've been able to, in fact, I did the math just the other day. Since Instagram launched Reels, I've created over 500 videos for Weber on Instagram. And then before that, we were on YouTube and doing different stuff. And of course the styles have changed, but I've done a lot. The biggest compliment I get is when I meet someone and they say they recognize my work from the style. So whatever I've done, obviously something's kind of ticked, which I love. It's part of my creative process, and someone recognizes it. And to me, that's probably the best thing possible.
All right, so let's talk about the new book that I mentioned in the open. And I'm to understand that there is a NASCAR flair or NASCAR alignment to it. So tell us more about the book, the inspiration behind it, and if people are going to pick up a copy, what they can expect as readers.
Yeah, it's a new cookbook. It's called NASCAR Race Day Eats. It's a licensed cookbook from NASCAR. It launches at the end of October. It's 65 recipes where I did all the recipes and all of the recipe photography. And then Kelly Crandall, who's a fantastic racing journalist, provided all the NASCAR intros and NASCAR facts, because sadly, my NASCAR knowledge was zero before this project. It has certainly grown quite a bit since last year. But she was able to fill that role. And really, it's in fact, I've got a copy right here in my hands. An advanced copy was sent a couple weeks ago. And I know it makes for a poor podcast, but good for the video feed. It's beautiful. It has an embossed cover. It looks fantastic. So excited about it. But it's definitely, it was a labor of love to work through it.
How does the opportunity even come?
Email. It's so funny. Just, you never know what day, what email is going to show up in your inbox. And it was from a publishing house looking for an author for the cookbook. And you just, it's one of those things at first you're like, is this going to be really me? And then, of course, as it works its way through the process, you're like, number one, if it scares you a little bit, that's always my cue to do it. Because if you're worried about it, that means it's a challenge. And I've not lost by that, gut feeling yet and following through. But it was a daunting process, a pretty tight timeline after we got things locked in. The recipe sides were pretty easy. It's nice too because this book covers everything from, dips to salads to soups, then tons of grilled food, appetizers, mains, grilled desserts. Also a cool section on cocktails I'm kind of excited about because you need to have a libation at the race. But the photography was probably the biggest challenge for me professionally because the shoot lasted 10 days. It's 65 recipes. It's also wintertime, so I'm trying to basically create artificial light to give an outdoor feel when I'm in the studio or if I'm outside and to make it look good. And it's remote work, so I've got an art director and an editor that are basically here virtually. So I'm working through things and sending, different examples of where we are with the shot and the setup. And it's a lot of work. But man, when it was done, it felt great. And now to see all of that finally in print, and it's like, yeah, that work was worth it. So yeah.
How long does it take from start to finish?
The whole book was probably, for my role, was 6 months.
Was some of it done before it becomes your role? Like you start from scratch, right? You're doing the book.
Yeah. I started from scratch. No, that was it. So it was a tight timeline. But
usually books are like a year, right?
It depends what it is. I can't speak to how the deal came together and everything with NASCAR, but we got it locked in. I got the manuscript in, and I got the photography done from all that, and they were quick to do the mock-ups. We actually did the announcement for the book at Talladega, and I'd not been to a NASCAR race. So Joey Logano wrote the foreword for the book. So it was me, Kelly, and Joey there at the NASCAR experience stage launching the book. It was a pretty cool thing, and NASCAR seems super happy with it, and we're just anxious to see what kind of response it gets when it comes out.
What kind of forward does Joey Logano write? Does he say, Mike Lang's my best friend, and he's cooked for me for years, we hang out in the shed and make content, or is it just generic?
Sadly, no, it is not. It's about cooking. No one's going to buy the book because my name is on it, but what he wrote was pretty cool, and his involvement in it has been neat. And certainly he's a strong voice and a competitor in the NASCAR world. So just to have his name on it will certainly help the book.
Do you have a literary agent?
No, I've got my wife. I've got me.
Your wife a lawyer?
No, but she's an administrator, so she's very good at those kind of things.
So you're negotiating your own stuff whenever you're doing it.
Yeah, and it's not easy, It'd be very nice if a third person do that, but I've so far, the opportunities have not given me credence to do that yet. So at some point I may, but for right now, you go at your own and do what you can do. That's all we can do, and that's how you learn.
I'm not here to float you, but I can't imagine. I can't even think of one other person. All right, well, maybe Meathead, but I can't think of one other person outside of you two that can write the book and then turn around and then do all of the other stuff, video, in this case, doing all the pictures, the stylizing. You said you have people coming in remotely to give you some critique or whatever. Usually when I'm hearing about people shooting the cookbook portion of it, the publisher sends them to a food stylist production house, and they're not the ones taking the pictures. They're just making the food. Maybe they're not even making the food. Maybe the food stylist is making the food so the food picture person can take it. You're doing it from soup to nuts, which is an incredible feat.
Well, thanks. It's definitely ownership in the project. And it's, I can do that for a certain amount of time. But you know what? I did the food styling for the Ace broadcast commercials. Was that in the spring or whenever that was? Yeah, it was the spring. And it's nice then to be a cog in the machine where my job is simply to make that food look good for the camera. So when you're seeing the commercials, I can say, yep, those are our steaks and those are our tacos. But sometimes too, you want to have more control, or you enjoy other parts of the creative process that you want to do. So it just kind of depends on where I am mentally at that point.
Well, incredible feat. So happy that the book is done. Happy that NASCAR liked about it. That's certainly a big thing. End of October, we can get our hands on it. So about a month and a half left. I assume pre-orders on Amazon or wherever you get these things called books.
Yeah, pre-orders. I've been saying, as I'm promoting it, it's available everywhere fine books are sold. So yeah, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. If you like a signed copy by me alone, through anotherpintplease.com. And also, let's give away a copy of the book tonight. What do you think?
All right, let's go ahead and do it. You have something that you wanted to pitch for the listeners, the fans, both you and mine, to jump into, have a little fun with.
Yeah, the publisher's going to give a copy of a book away. We're going to call it the Pit Stop Photo Challenge.
All right.
And these are the rules. If you'd like to get a signed copy by me and a copy of the book, it's number one, take a picture of yourself with your grill in action, doing whatever you want to do. Make sure you include the hashtag RaceDayEats. Also, make sure that you tag both myself, Another Pint Please, and Greg, Barbecue Central Show, on either Instagram or Twitter. And just have this in by this coming Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And then when Greg and I, after the Hartville Hardware Extravaganza, are enjoying a post-show cigar, we'll go through and randomly pick who the winner is going to be, and you'll get a copy in your mailbox.
How about that? Easy. Maybe I'll broach 6,000 followers, where some of your followers decided to come over and follow me. Boy, am I stuck, but that's all right. That sounds great. So, photo of your grill in action, hashtag RaceDayEats, tag me and Mike, Another Pint Please, and BBQ at BBQ Central Show, Instagram or Twitter or X, whatever you call it. And then deadline this coming Saturday at 5 p.m., where Mike and I will peruse and randomly pick whatever the best, most influential RaceDayEats picture contest winner is. And then you get an autographed copy of the book from Mike. So sounds great. Appreciate you doing that and partnering with the show to do that. Outside of the book, you have started, which is crazy, a completely separate Instagram account showcasing a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, what it takes on a technical side to shoot photos, to shoot videos, and the editing and the equipment. Why?
Right, yeah, good question, right? I don't think I'm a little crazy. I wanted two things. Number one, I wanted something else to concentrate on besides simply, doing the work I'm doing for everybody else. And I thought that'd be a fun thing I could kind of work into other work. But I also realized, I'm never going to learn more myself unless I teach something. When I was still in law enforcement, I taught forensic science and crime scene investigations for 15 plus years. And I learned so much more by teaching something. So I figured, you know what? I've been doing this for a long time, and really, 15 years plus with Another Pint Please. I should pass on what I know, because I've watched a lot of other people do things. Like, could be either making something, and I learn stuff still all the time. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And I never thought about that. Even you think you may know something. So I decided I should really do something about that and pass on, what I've learned. And it may be stuff that you already know, and it may be stuff that you've not. It's been kind of cool. I've already had a bunch of other creators, like large creators, reach out with this questions about stuff because they weren't sure about, an exposure issue or white balance or editing or something. So that reminds me that, yes, we all need to constantly learn. And the best way I'm going to learn is by doing it. And then maybe someone else will learn something also along the way.
Are you finding yourself spending more time on one account than the other, or is like one pulling you towards it? Is it new? Like, so the new one, hey, I want to put a lot of content on there. It's new, it's shiny, but you don't want to also neglect Another Pint Please, which is the flagship station.
Right. I've not gotten there yet. I mean, it's so different because I can shoot, let's say, I shot 2 reels the last couple days, but then I can also grab some behind the scenes stuff to kind of explain what I'm doing, which has a better spot on the new, the name of the account, by the way, is the Grillographer's Cut. Grillographer's Grillographer's period cut. The name that I was given at Weber to describe what the heck I do about a decade ago. So it's very easy to use things for the behind the scenes stuff when actually cooking other things, which is what I've enjoyed about it. So I can kind of work it in better, if that makes sense or not.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy, I'm a tech guy, right? So as soon as this thing came out, I was like, wow, this is going to be great. Not necessarily because I wanted to, class up my video. It's a pretty static situation here. I don't do a lot of filming otherwise. If we're going to be honest, I barely keep up any social media, but I love watching the guys and the gals that do it really well. their finished product, but nothing brings me more joy than talking inside baseball or seeing inside baseball. So to see like how you were lining up a shot and you had the gray marker thing that was supposed to be the fake mic, and you're lining up the shot here, like that's incredible. And you rolled out this big equipment hangy thing, and it's like, wow, I mean, I would probably be great too. And seeing the comments like, oh, I never would have thought of that, or this is a game changer, and hearing you say, this is how it has raised my video shooting game, or this is how much efficiency it has lent to the process, I think is key. So, I mean, I'm always excited to see the Another Pint Please content, but to see the Grillographer's cut is going to be something I'm definitely looking forward to following as it grows and as you add more content. Looking ahead, this coming weekend, we know you're going to be in Hartville. You're going to be at the Grillfest again, which is incredible. Love seeing you. What are you most looking forward to about this event this year?
Well, just seeing everybody again. I mean, oh my gosh, to see, first of all, you, the time we get to spend together, which is always an annual treat of mine, but also to see Danielle and Captain Ron and everybody from Hartville, from Steve and Kelly. I mean, what a great group. And I know, not everyone is that close to Hartville, but I've been saying if you can make it there, and the weather looks pretty good overall, hot. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's just such a good time, and everyone is well fed, and there's so many good deals to be had, and so many great people to talk to. It's an unforgettable event.
And changing it up a little bit. So where the competition tent has been for the last handful of years, kind of front corner of the store, that's going to get moved to where the vendors alley was last year, for instance. And then the vendors are going to get lined up to where the competitors tent is going to be. So a little bit of a logistical change. Thought we were going to have one more guest that showed up there. Something fell through the cracks. That doesn't happen. The good news is the varsity team is still showing up to boot up and give you some great live demonstrations. If you've never been to the live demonstration portion of this, if you've only stopped in very quickly and had your ears plugged and your sunglasses on and raced in and out to grab some of the deals, Mike is going to cook live. Danielle is going to cook live. Captain Ron is going to cook live. And then I'm going to interact with them as they're cooking. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to let the audience ask questions. So it's almost like we're doing a Barbecue Central show interview, except Mike is actually on stage cooking, or BBQ is actually on stage cooking, and we're doing this whole Q&A thing as it's happening, which is always a treat for me. But to have you guys that are actually doing the cooking and then having to answer questions, got to be a little nerve-wracking, but everybody a pro at this point.
Oh, and it's great to see you on your feet. Everyone needs to see you live at some point. And I'm guessing you're going to play Font or Cheese. That's always a favorite of mine.
I think there was a whole different thing that was going to be going on this year, because I don't know if you remember last year, but you were probably busy judging. There weren't a lot of people in the crowd that were interested in winning free stuff. So I think instead of that, we're going to try and build some anticipation with one or two big prizes. And then in the meantime, I'm going to be jumping back into the competitor tent, getting a little Iron Chef interviews with some of the competitors, seeing what they thought about turn-ins. Of course, that black box is going to be making an appearance again this year. So plenty of stuff to have fun and frivolity with. But as you'd mentioned, a lot of great deals, a lot of great vendors, a lot of important people are going to be there. And Mike will be there with books and pens. So if you want a signed copy of One Beer Grilling, I'm sure you're ready to go with those, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They've been so wonderful to sell it. So yeah, by all means.
Mike, looking forward to Saturday. Always appreciate your time here on the show, and we'll see you soon.
Can't wait, Greg. Thanks. Take care.
You got it. Mike Lang right there. Another Pint Please, and then follow his new Instagram as well, Grillographer-cut. And if I said that wrong, I will correct it and put it in the post-show notes, but I believe that was right. So Mike Lang right there. Daniel Vaughn is in the green room, so anxious to talk with him about some topics. And we will do that here in just a few moments. You are listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
And we thank Mike Lang from Another Pint Please joining us last segment. At Another Pint Please on the Instagram, at Grillographers _cut. His new Instagram, showing you behind the scenes. Helping me close the show tonight, barbecue editor for Texas Monthly Magazine. You see him on the show for quarterly visits. He is also an inaugural member of the 2018 Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame class. We race to the hotline and welcome back our pal, Daniel Vaughn. Hey, Daniel. I do not have you. Are you on mute by chance? Oh, okay. How about now, Daniel?
Let's see. How's it working?
Yes, absolutely. Wonderful. Always.
All right.
Gotta always close and reconnect. You never know. All right.
I know. I changed the settings just how you asked.
Yeah.
You're right. It's just the reconnect's where it's at.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. So we have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody. I don't know if you heard any of that or not. Will you be at the Grillfest in Hartville, Ohio this coming weekend?
I will not be in Ohio this coming weekend.
81% of you are not going to be at the
Hartville
Hardware Grillfest.
Just get a new hat. Speaking of Ohio.
Take it off. Take it off. Burn it.
Look at that.
Burn it. Wow, Carhartt, no less. Did you pay $60 for that?
Carhartt hat. $39.95, I believe.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
$39.95. Too much for that logo on the front, I can tell you that. They're horrible. I mean, this is not a sports show, but I have a feeling this could be one of the most tragic Brown seasons of record.
I think you're right. I mean, tragic in the sense that, like, we all know we're just building for the future here, right? And you can say that every year about the Browns, so it's consistent.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of you can see the car coming down the raceway. You can see where all the other cars have stopped, and no matter what, this car is just coming right in to cause and wreak havoc amongst the citizens of Cleveland once again. There's an ongoing debate here on how we say a particular city's name here in Ohio. It's what I am calling. Where are you from originally?
I'm from one of those towns that is also controversial. I am from Worcester, Ohio.
Worcester? It's not Worcester?
It's not Worcester.
Are you sure?
It's got two O's, just like Rooster.
Worcester.
That was the bad joke we always told in Worcester.
So is it Worcester for real?
It is Worcester.
Oh,
yes.
God damn it. All right, David Yule. I said I would say it. I don't know where I picked up Worcester from somebody. I mean, I've lived in Ohio for however the fuck long I've lived here, way too long to say it wrong this long. But I said, I think Daniel's from Worcester. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of weird spellings of towns, like Worcester in Massachusetts. Like, how the hell do you get Worcester out of that? There's an R. Well, I mean, there's an R at the end, too. But, I mean, there's not an R where it should be in Worcester whatever. So I said I would come clean. Look, I'm wrong. Daniel is the authority. He lived in Worcester. Did I say that right? Worcester, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm wrong. David, you were right. He was a bagpiper drummer at the Fighting Scots band leading the football team onto the field.
All right. The College of Worcester.
That's right.
Yeah, beautiful.
College of Worcester. He was a musician major in the College of Worcester. All right. So now that we have that out of the way.
See, I thought you were going to ask me about Lima.
No, I know Lima. I think I know every other weird named city, except somehow I was leaving Worcester into the, I don't know why I was saying Worcester. I think now I will continue to say Worcester. Just to be a dick.
The headquarters of certified Angus beef.
Yes.
Now you know it.
That's right. I knew that. So Worcester it is. Who's Bill Dumas and why should I care?
Bill Dumas is the wizard of sausage. The sausage sensei is the name that he goes by. A name that was given to him by a friend. So he did not come up with that nickname on his own, but he has certainly embraced it. He'll put anything in a sausage casing, really. Any combination of ingredients, he has no fear.
Does he make great sausage, or is he just stuffing anything in a case?
He does make great sausage. I will say I've tasted a few of the things that, a few of his experiments that maybe hit the menu a little too early. There are some of those combinations that are not the greatest. Somewhere he's really reaching for the stars. The last time I was at Schulze's Pit Room, which is where he works now in Seguin, Texas, I had a lineup of 4 sausages, and one was his sausage of the week, which was an Italian beef with giardiniera in the sausage, a good old Texas hot link, jalapeno cheese sausage, and a brisket boudin. And it was just that good old Texas hot gut, like that beef sausage with lots of black pepper and nice juicy link. That was my favorite of the group. So he knows how to make a really simple sausage really well as well. So
best sausage in Texas is where?
Oh my gosh, the best sausage in Texas. There is I would say the first time I had a sausage that really made like an impact of like, this is different and so perfectly done, was at Tejas Craftery. It was called that back then. Now it's Tejas Barbecue and Chocolate in Tomball, Texas. And it's their chili relleno sausage. And man, that one is a masterpiece. There's a chicken tinga boudin that I had at Sunbird Barbecue out in East Texas. That one was memorably good. Man, I've had so many good ones. Let's stick with those for now.
So sausage akin to where we feel Texas brisket is right now, like great brisket amongst Texas barbecue was table steaks?
No, I think it's completely different because in brisket, there's only so much you can do to really change the flavor, right? Like you can add a rub or whatnot, but you still end up with a slice of brisket in the end. And sausage, I think, is a way for pitmasters to really show off whether it is their creativity, show off their culture, just show off, their leftovers, like any of those things, right? It is a way to really create a recipe that shows off your own tastes and your own personality in a way that you can't do with a rack of ribs or brisket.
I won't pretend to know the geography of Texas like an expert, certainly not at your level, but outside of Ernest Cervantes, I had never heard of the city of Seguin, Texas. And now you have a sausage sensei and you have a Texas Monthly #1 ranked barbecue restaurant. Is Seguin going to be blowing up now?
Well, you've also got Davila's Barbecue there that's been there for a really long time. Edward Davila, who opened it, learned how to make sausage in Lockhart when he was working there. So you get the ring-style sausage at Davila's Barbecue along with lamb barbacoa. You also have the world's largest pecan, which is not a pecan. And it's not the largest one anymore either. But they still call it the world's largest pecan, which is really just a concrete oval in the front of the courthouse.
So it's not edible.
Lots going on in Seguin. Yeah. And, of course, named after Juan Seguin, the hero of the Alamo.
You did something to me that seems insane. You did a review of airport food, and then you amped it up and did a review of barbecue airport food. When I think about food in an airport, my expectation right off the rip is below average at best. Why did you start doing barbecue airport review? Very brave.
Well, I started because I had a sandwich at the Salt Lick at DFW Airport, and I really just expected it to be terrible because it's airport barbecue, right? I mean, I think a lot of us who are barbecue fans have probably dabbled, dipped our toe into the barbecue, whether it's a burrito or some sort of chopped brisket sandwich or whatnot at the airport, and always have been disappointed, right? But this was a good one. They chopped up the brisket and the sausage together on the block, put it on a toasted bun, pickles, onions, their Salt Lick barbecue sauce. Like you already have a one up there because their barbecue sauce is so good. And it was a well-made sandwich. It was pleasing. It was good. And I was surprised. And it wasn't just like good for airport barbecue. I actually enjoyed it. And so I thought, maybe I should just go eat at every barbecue joint in a Texas airport. And, I found all of the barbecue options at many different airports across the state. The largest of them are the ones that, that you might expect: Houston Hobby Airport, George Bush Airport in Houston, Austin. Of course, we've got DFW Airport and Love Field Airport, also in Dallas. So, the ones that are further afield don't have barbecue just yet. And San Antonio, I hope I didn't leave them out. So I figured, I'm on this big barbecue search for our top 50. I'm flying to a lot of these airports. I might as well check out the goods. See if I can find any gems out there. See if I can give those travelers who might just be going through a Texas airport and their only taste of barbecue, of Texas barbecue, could be at an airport. And so I at least wanted them to know that if it's through Love Field that they're going and they ate at that Dickey's, don't judge us by that. It's the worst barbecue you can get at a Texas airport. And I don't mean it because it's Dickey's. It's the other Dickey's. Like, there's Dickey's at DFW Airport as well. Much better. The Dickey's at Love Field, particularly awful. And then there's the new Killen's barbecue that opened in Hobby Airport. Killen's, of course, Ronnie Killen has had Killen's barbecue in Pearland, now the Woodlands and Cypress. He's got steakhouses. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. But it still takes airport employees to produce and serve that barbecue. Didn't get the greatest service there. Got some folks who were a little confused about, how to work a knife on that cutting block. But they do have a cutting block right there in front of you, slicing the meat, as you order it. Incredible bread pudding. He does this croissant bread pudding at the restaurants. You get the same one at the airport. And but that stuffed potato, it's a solid stuffed potato. It's a big baked potato, like well cooked. It's a nice fluffy potato, lots of good toppings, plenty of chopped brisket on there, and the chopped brisket doesn't taste like it was just squeezed out of a plastic bag. It was chopped right there on the block. So that was my favorite bite of Texas barbecue at any of these airport spots.
Is that a license deal between the airport and Ronnie, or does he own that restaurant?
They're all license deals. So each operator has a certain amount of influence. I think they probably can throttle that back if they want just the airport to run with it, since nobody expects much out of airport barbecue.
It seems like a risk for some of these guys. Like, that could be more of a name risk for Ronnie Killen than it would be for Johnny Trott that wants to have a barbecue restaurant.
Yeah, agreed. And so I was pleased to see that they're trying. They're actually putting out a good product for airport barbecue. And there was a moment where I was eating, I don't even remember where it was, which airport it was. I was like, you know what? This isn't bad. And I was like, no, hold on. Recalibrate here. I've been eating at like 3 airports in a row. This isn't bad for airport barbecue, which means it's bad. So I needed to sort of remind myself of, just because I was pleasantly surprised that something wasn't awful at an airport doesn't mean it was good.
How long does the whole process take for you to accumulate the list?
Oh, that one was probably 6 months. Yeah. Because I flew to Hobby Airport on the week after Ronnie Killen told me Killen's barbecue would be open at the airport. And I literally got off the plane, walked out of the gate, or walked through the jetway into the airport, and across from me was the fully boarded up Killen's barbecue, not at all ready for service.
Oh no!
And so I rented a car and went out and ate some barbecue in Houston. Had to come back a couple of months later.
Do you have a favorite at Houston Intercontinental?
So there's Q Smokehouse.
Is that the one with the really big?
Giant copper
smoker.
pot
stills.
Yeah. And they have a smoker in the airport. They've got to bring in wood through security.
I've seen it.
And there's a cutout of the pitmaster, like a cardboard cutout of him smiling and holding a brisket, which I made fun of because it's a cardboard cutout of a pitmaster. But he actually did reach out and say, how did you like it? Is there anything we can improve? And I see you only got a chopped brisket sandwich. Could you please come back for more? So I did, and it was all right. It was okay.
I walk past it every time we're in Houston. For some reason, we're flying into this. I don't know if it's like a United concourse or wherever we're at. If we're just lucky, like
it is a United
concourse,
concourse, and so if you're flying through there, you can stop, sit at the bar, and get an espresso martini because they make a good one of those.
Yeah, wow. And then like maybe just up from that, it's more of like a live fire grilling restaurant. It looks like they got one of those. Oh, and I'm not going to remember what his name is. The the real fancy cantilever.
Like an Argentinian grill.
Yeah, but there's a guy that's putting them in restaurants all over the country. He's super famous grill maker, Ben something or other, maybe. I can't remember, but they have one of those grilling systems in there. I always see him getting it ready to cook on. It always looks great, but
I was so full of barbecue that I didn't seek out any other.
I've never eaten in any airport restaurant because I just don't want to be disappointed. Look, there's another topic we got to get to, way more important than nonsense.
Okay.
I'm wondering if you have any desire to get into this or not, but of course I'm going to ask you because, as you once said on the show, we are courageous. After you release the top 50, the previous winner in the last list, Goldie's Barbecue, had one of their owners or principals or whoever take, I guess, what I would call a sustained run at you through social media, questioning your palate, your person, your everything that Daniel Vaughn stands for.
He also brought up the big secret that I am from Ohio.
That's right.
I've never wanted anyone to know that. I've never told anyone that before.
Never been mentioned. Exclusive
I didn't write
on the show.
In the very first page of my book, I didn't write that.
Yeah.
It's
So there's another question I want to ask in a moment. Okay. However, I want your take just high level as you start to see this, or I don't know if you roll over it first or if somebody's saying, hey, Daniel, take a look at this, and now you have to start going through it, or if he's tagging you. What's the take on the whole Johnny White's comment saga of 2025?
Yes. Well, Johnny White was and probably still is convinced that I have some sort of strange vendetta against BBQ. And that is why BBQ is not in our top 10. BBQ and Lockhart, my vendetta against them is so strong that I wrote a great review of them when they opened. I put them in our 25 best new barbecue joint list in 2023. And in 2025, I brought the hammer down and I put them in the top 50. That's how strong my vendetta against BBQ is. I named them one of the 50 best barbecue joints in Texas and the only member of the top 50 barbecue list in the barbecue capital of Texas, Lockhart, Texas. I love Barb's. It's great. And the fact that I spent some time recently with Ara Malekian, who is the owner and pitmaster at Harlem Road Texas Barbecue. And, he's an honorable mention. It's an honorable mention barbecue joint, not in the top 50. And, he talked about how disheartening it is as somebody in the, in the honorable mention list who tries really hard, who puts all their effort into their barbecue to get honorable mention. And, they've come to terms with it. But to see someone, I guess, on behalf of another barbecue joint upset that they made the top 50 kind of irked him. So, am
I wrong here? I want to make sure that I'm correct. Am I saying that this guy was he a part of Goldie's at one point? Is he Goldie's guy or what?
He was an owner at Goldie's. I don't know
he's divested.
The last I heard from the other owners at Goldie's was that them buying out his portion was a work in progress. I don't know, I don't know exactly what that means, but it's a work in progress is the last I heard. So
then he's
my understanding
is
I have no idea.
No.
He
has no investment in anything. He's just talking shit.
Yeah, essentially. He got number one with Goldie's back in 2021. I think he got all the notoriety he needed, and I guess Goldie's blew up in just the way that you would expect a number one barbecue joint to, and he reaped all the benefits of that as far as being able to continue. As far as other barbecue joints, like say Burnt Bean, being able to really just sort of relish their number one spot. yeah, I guess doesn't want that to happen. I'm not sure. But it was when I finally just blocked him on social media was when he started making accusations about that the list is all based on bribes and kickbacks. And, so that insinuates that he's, blaming or that he is accusing his business partners or former business partners, friends, co-founders of Goldie's of being bribed or of bribing me.
Everybody else but them. Everybody else but them, I think he was saying.
Right. So, it's something that he knows is a lie. So to be spreading it the same way he tried to spread that I was moving to the New York Times, that big barbecue destination of New York City.
It is realistic to think that if you were running a payola list, it would be widely known. Like people would scoff at it. Oh, Daniel's coming out with the list that you have to buy your way onto, almost akin to like the Michelin Star Guide. You have to buy into the Michelin Star Guide in order to have a Michelin Star rated restaurant, whatever city, blah, blah, blah. Not saying that's necessarily the case, but I believe that the collective Texas barbecue folk would say, hey, this guy's a sham. Here's the check that I wrote, and here's the corresponding number we got on Texas Monthly. Here are the bank statements to prove it, and now Daniel's a sham.
Yeah, you would think there would probably be some sort of price list out there that had been published by now, especially for any place that had fallen out of the top 10 or fallen out of the top 50. I don't know. I think I should be driving a nicer car if that were the case, or have a bigger house. But we don't take kickbacks. We don't. The day that the list came out was the day that he came out with these allegations that I have this vendetta against BBQ and his business partner Lane Milne. He and I ran into each other because we were going to the same studio for a podcast interview, and he after apologizing for his co-owner's behavior at the time, he in celebration offered me a bottle of Blanton's, which was generous offer. Like it, and I turned it down. I had to turn it down. I was like, I can't accept that as a gift for you being number 3 in the state. And he totally understood. And he's certainly not one who ever tried to bribe me with anything, and now understands that maybe a gift even after the fact isn't good for him.
Like let's be honest for a second. It's fun being.
Oh, I have been.
Yes, I know, but now let's really be honest. So it's fun probably being Texas Monthly barbecue editor and going around and eating all this wonderful food and all this other stuff. It does appear, after doing the show for so long and seeing, 2 or 3 different top 50 lists come out, and there never seems to be a repeat number 1, and people are really getting a new level of success if they're on this list. There is no denying that the Texas Monthly's top 50 list is a big deal, and people want to be on it. And as you said, feelings are going to get hurt. But let's leave that out of it. What kind of a pressure cooker does Daniel Vaughn have to live in, knowing, I want to say you're holding these guys' lives in the balance, but there can certainly be a significant uptick to their business if they land somewhere on this list, especially in that top 10.
I understand that where people fall on this list or don't fall on this list is going to have an effect on their business. That's for sure. But as far as a pressure cooker, I don't know if that's the right word. There are certainly people who I know are going to react poorly to not being on the list, or react maybe poorly to not being in the right place on the list. But I just can't let that affect how I rank these different places, right? So, it does help actually once the top 50 comes out, and then you do get a real understanding of what people think of you, like, what people truly think of you. And so that's valuable information, right? It's much more valuable than just knowing how they might, might try to butter you up when you visit, or might invite you to make videos at their restaurant, things like that. And knowing then once the list comes out that was all just fake, that's really valuable information.
How long do you think you got doing this?
Well, I don't know. I'm working on the list for the 25 best new barbecue joints list of 2027. I guess by the time we work on we get the 2029 top 50 out there, my kids will both be in college, so it'll be a lot easier to do all that searching and not be driving kids to school and picking them up and having all that stuff.
Have you been back out to El Paso and had whatever version of Smokin' Joe's Pit Barbecue thing was with his brother Martin?
No, when I went back out to try it, they were serving some Saturdays, not all Saturdays. It wasn't a regular schedule. Let's put it that way. But I did try Hallelujah Barbecue when I was out there, and Desert Oak Barbecue, and Skinny's Barbecue as well.
Skinny's,
yes. There's nothing there that will make you skinny.
Anything you're working on that we should be, besides everything, but anything specific that you want to mention to go over to tmbbq.com for us to check out?
Well, I am right now. I just finished up an interview with Coffee Barbecue. It's all halal barbecue joint in Irving, Texas.
Yep.
That opened up late December, and got the interesting backstory on that, and along with some details on that, all the Wagyu beef that they do. They actually do a smoked New York strip steak that they smoke to order. They take it out when you order it, 25 minutes, take it out to the smoker.
I think I saw that.
Bring it back in, and they deep fry it.
I just saw that on one of my Instagram. Did you do that video? Or did I just happen to see that?
You probably just happened to see it. Yeah, wow. Instagram already knows what we're going to talk about.
Jeez.
Like, that's how deep it is into your psyche. Wow. And yeah, he deep fries it and then serves it with this homemade white bread, which is fantastic, but this confit garlic. So you like spread this roasted garlic on the bread and put a slice of the steak on there. And as I told him in the interview, like, it doesn't really taste a whole lot like smoke. There's like, it's 25 minutes of smoke and then you put it in a deep fryer. But he said that from that video, the deep frying part was the controversial thing.
Of course.
And I'm like, anybody who knows cooking knows that deep frying a steak is not controversial here. Like, if you are pan frying a steak, you're just deep frying, you're just deep frying a portion of it at a time.
You're talking about a minority group of people who either aren't offended, haven't already done it. Like, we're the cooking nerds. The vast majority of people still wash chicken in the sink like a bunch of dopes, right? That's the vast majority. The minority realize, like, there's no reason to do that, but you can't talk sense into them. So exactly the opposite here with, finishing the steak in a deep fryer.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was delicious. It's $75 a pound.
Pooh. It's
a little pricey. And unlike every other thing in the restaurant, they don't weigh that after cooking. That's that is they bring it out and they show it to you. They weigh it up for you, like right in front of you, the raw steak, and then they go throughout that process, so you can enjoy the big beef ribs and the brisket and everything before or while you're waiting on that steak to smoke. The day that I went, it was actually pouring, and I mean torrential, pouring down rain. And so some poor soul, which I didn't realize when I ordered the steak the first time, some poor soul had to take that outside, walk across the parking lot to the smoker and put it in there. And then I didn't taste any rainwater on it when it came back. So I imagine it was in some sort of container.
Yeah, solid transfer. Did they butcher anything in the back for you to see how they do it halal style versus normal butchery tactics?
No, none of that. It's there's no live animals on site. Yeah,
got to see that if you get the invite. I forgot to mention this, and I'll let you go. This is a big deal.
Oh,
Oh, wait.
Okay,
You go ahead first. Please.
Oh, well, I was going to say, something else that's coming up is we do have a PBS show called Texas Monthly Presents, and there will be an episode coming out about the search for the top 50. So, we've been making it for. I mean, we started back in August. Last August, we started making it, and we were gathering content, gathering just different videos throughout the whole search. Throughout that whole process to make this. So anybody who's maybe unsure about how the process works or any of that will have all their questions answered when that 30-minute video comes out, all about the search for the top 50.
Any idea when that's coming out?
That one will come out in a few weeks. It'll be on Texas Monthly's Facebook page. We'll be putting out a link on that for sure. And I'll be posting on the BBQ Snob Instagram page.
Here we go. In case you didn't know. I mean, I know you knew. I'm talking to the audience. In case you didn't know, even though we have Daniel Vaughn here quarterly, even though he is originally from Worcester, Ohio, means nothing. In case you didn't realize, folks, we are in the presence of greatness. For Daniel Vaughn has been voted the single most influential person in barbecue, period.
Yes,
as by
number
the
one, baby.
Overseasoned barbecue underseasoned barbecue podcast, number one out of 150 people. I mean, if I can't
switch hats for that,
if I can't tell you, the floor is yours. I'm sure you've ready to speech and all this, maybe a little bit more personal than whatever you sent to them, but let's hear it.
Well, I want to thank the Academy. No, any list that I'm on that includes Greg Rempe,
I wasn't on that list.
I know I'm in good company.
I wasn't on that list.
You are absolutely on that list. I just saw it.
Where?
Yes, on their website. They listed from 1 to 150, the 150 most influential people in barbecue, and you, sir, are not 150. You're not even 140. I do believe you're in the 130s.
Oh, yeah? Great.
Yeah, Greg Rempe's on there for sure. And you know what? I told my daughter that after I picked her up from school today.
That I was on the list?
No, that I was the most influential person in barbecue according to this particular YouTube show. And she was not impressed.
Zero impressed?
She was unimpressed.
She's like, Dad, it's like 6, 7.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm very happy to know that I've made it on the list. The one thing that I will say is, unlike most lists, so you do your list, Robert Moss does his list, you guys are putting yourself out there. You're saying this is what we think is number one through whatever. It does appear that these gents have done the same thing. They've just gone ahead and ranked, Daniel Vaughn, everybody else is second or worse. And it's not, who do you think is most influential? Let's put on a poll. And all of a sudden, it's like, vote for your favorite. Now it's popularity, top 150 most influential list. They're just putting it out there. I respect that most about anybody that's going to be putting out a list. So congratulations. Just another notch in the belt of influence.
You. But I will say that I think what had a hand in it was they asked me like a month ago for a video and some photos. And I knew the longer I held out, the higher up I'd have to be on that list because they kept releasing portions of that list along the way.
All right, hold on.
And
I have breaking news here. Steve Ray, former Tennessee embedded correspondent for the show, has just emailed in. I was 143rd. Oh, there you go. Just pulling it up. He might have sent it to you at the same time. 143rd. Now, can you punch in on that and you get information, or is it just a picture?
This is the handsomest. Yeah.
Yes, that's not a lie.
Yeah. From his Cleveland studio, Greg Rempe has built the Barbecue Central show into a mainstay of global barbecue media.
Yes.
Host and owner of the Barbecue Central Show, one of the longest running, most downloaded live barbecue grilling talk shows and podcasts.
Yes.
Also produces the Pitcast, a weekly show for members of the Pitmaster Club at AmazingRibs.com. Maybe not anymore.
No.
A finalist in the American Royal Barbecue Hall of Fame.
Yes! Every year! Wait.
Finalist, I think, not every year.
never a finalist.
Well, finalist this past year.
I'm
right?
no, I'm what do you call it? I'm in the big name hopper. So I'm always nominated, but never like into the top 10, and obviously never into the Barbecue Hall of Fame itself. So I never make it over the big catch-all into the top.
I thought this last time you made it into that group that actually gets voted on by the members.
Yeah, well, every name nominated gets voted on by the members, and I just get kicked back into the pool.
Every name that's nominated is discussed by the nomination committee, and that is narrowed down to a short list that is sent out to all the voting members.
Oh, no. I didn't make that list. That's the top 10. I definitely did not make it. Yeah.
Well, you did in my heart.
Thank you. And I'll tell you, I don't want to speak outside of school here. I heard from somebody pretty reliable that somebody within the names committee said that my time has come and gone. I don't even know what that means.
Gone?
Time has come and gone.
You know what that means?
That means I'm not getting in. I think that's what it means.
No. I was on the nominating committee before.
Yes, I remember.
And I'm no longer. And I know what that means. And so I know what has to happen.
We have to have a gutting of the names committee, it sounds like.
These nominations, they have an expiration date.
Yeah.
But a new nomination by maybe the most influential man in barbecue.
Number 1.
Of Greg Rempe.
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it can take us.
We'll see where it goes. Look, I've kept you too long. It's Daniel Vaughn here every quarter. We'll see him one more time before the year's out. Visit him over at TMBBQ.com. Daniel, always appreciate the time, and we'll talk again soon.
Great to be with you, Greg.
Daniel Vaughn right there. Always a pro, and never too shy to, work some angles, which I certainly appreciate. And wow, could I get a endorsement from the most influential person in barbecue today, as cited by the Overseasoned podcast out of Australia? I don't know. Couldn't hurt. And I won't even pay him to do it because he's not here for payment. We've learned that earlier in this discussion as well. We're way over time. I got a sleep study thing to get into. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. We'll give you a poll final result. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Let's get back to a guy who has more experience giving you his opinion than he actually has cooking. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back, and we thank Daniel Vaughn for joining us again last segment. An extended segment, a entertaining segment, educational, to say the least. I feel like there will be a lot of pressure. Like, I get it. I mean, Daniel's a different guy. I've had occasion to be one-on-one with him, probably more than a lot of folks that, aren't in Texas. And I always appreciate it. But, Daniel's a different guy. Walks to his own drum, walks to his own beat, whatever you want to call it. But I'm thinking many lists don't seem to generate nearly as much consternation as this Texas Monthly Barbecue list does. And that would in turn cause me some type of internal stress. So the fact that he is somebody that appears to be unbothered by that type of responsibility, he knows task at hand, we have to do it like this. Whatever suffering is going to happen, as he said, true friends are then showcased. Fakers are now spotlighted. Charlatans are now seen for what they are. Admirable, to say the least. When you coming back to Cleveland, D? We got to hang. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here all the way back in the first hour. We finally brought a close to the Matt Osmond, Sam the Cooking Guy non-bet payment saga. Case closed. Then we talked with Wes Wright from cookoutnews.com. Talked about some pizza ovens. talked about the other things that we talked about. There was a portable pellet cooker from Rectech. And then we got in the second hour, Mike Lang joined us. He's got a new social media Instagram account on top of Another Pint Please, which you should follow. He's going to be at Grillfest coming up this Saturday. Also, I will be at Grillfest on Saturday, and so will Danielle Bennett, so will Captain Ron, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Weber, respectively. Don't forget this coming Friday, episode 400 of the Best Moments of Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less will be in the feed. In fact, it's already in the feed, just waiting to get released. Did it in advance, so I wouldn't forget it. Special time. If you're going to be around Hartville, or you're within 2 hours of Hartville, it's going to be worth it. Come on out, eat, see me, see Mike, see Diva, see Captain Ron, see all of us, group pictures, I'll sign autographs. Big show planned for you next week. Embedded correspondents are joining me as we put in a new Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame class, the class of 2025. Plus other interviews as well. So, how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American Greg Rempe saying, Shalom! Shalom!
This is Chris Payne from Euclid, Ohio, and you are listening to Barbecue Central.